Hello. Hi. Can you tell us who you are?
Well, I am Jakobina Gideon. I'm a human being. I am a black woman. I am a artist in all forms. Um, and what I create is medicine. I heal with my work. Most of my subject matter comes from within. Um, my own life experiences, of course, because I'm documenting myself, I'm expressing myself. I'm also documenting and expressing the world around me, life, what I see people go through. Nature is very informative, or is the source in which I derive my energy from. I think for me, it's like the black and white of life, because I think a lot of people have this sort of, I'd say black and white in a good and bad type of way, but I see black and white in a harmonious way. So there isn't a bad thing or a good thing. There just is that thing. It's just a matter of perception. I guess I try to evoke that sense of like balance. Where people steer off, I hope my work brings them back to balance. When I started out, I really tried everything. I tried pencil, charcoal, I tried oil, watercolor, acrylic. I was just being very explorative. And acrylic was the one that stuck with me because it allowed me to work the way I work in my head. I loved it because of how quick it dries, and it allows me to just like try a lot of different things. And it's quite affordable also, you know. In terms of my style, I started off also sketching. So I love to doodle. I like to have sort of this free flow. I still do that as a first step, the sketching. So I try to leave that imperfection of sketching. You can't plan it. You can't think it. You can't think a line or all of this. You just kind of have to be in the flow to do it. Like with my landwork, for instance, that's really where it encapsulates sort of that notion for me in my work. Because then it doesn't matter which direction I go or where I start. It always makes sense as like when the painting is done as a bigger picture. So I show that your mistakes are part of your life. They are part of that flow. It's not a mistake. It's just something to reveal a lesson out of you. I'm glad that my current style really reflects like all of my loves for acrylic, for sketching, the black and white, the lines. So it really speaks to me, and I feel I've really matured in that sense to a point that I feel like this is something I'll keep for a very long time. One thing that I am kind of bringing out into the world that I haven't done before is dancing. It was always something that revived me. It's always something that I did for myself. And over the years, it also matured, in terms of a practice. I wasn't prepared in the sense of, working in a short span. It's a different, you have to kind of sort yourself out a bit different because you have a designated amount of time, um, and you have to make something work. So I think that would be the one takeaway. But I did like it in the sense of like it was a very, it was in a very secluded area. There's nature around and small group of people that you get to connect with as well. Making friends, close to the beach. I got introduced to Oranjemo, which is one of my favorite towns in Bolivia. With Russia was very interesting because you got to see a lot. You got to see a lot of their culture, and it's nice when like you live in a civilization where their history is not taken away from them. They have their heritage, they have their cultures, their traditions, their spirituality, all intact from like thousands and hundreds of years. When I went to Russia, prior to that, I'd really given up on oil. So they kind of forced me to do oil, and I was like, I came here as an acrylic painter, as an acrylic painter. So the compromise was to do my flow line things with oil. And then I realized, oh, it actually works out better. So I do now oil as sort of my final layer with the whole little lines and dots and stuff like that. Like most of it is acrylic. So it was really nice. Really enjoyed it. 10 out of 10 experience. Let's go back. I was also not prepared. Take this a little bit. I think I prefer to work in a space that I'm familiar with because, like, I'm very ritualistic, so I like to plan and I like to have my things a certain way. I wake up, I burn my incense, I take my shower, I take my tea, and this is my space, and I do this. So whenever I travel and I work somewhere else, it takes me a while to kind of be at home and find sort of my little ways to kind of just make me feel cozy and comfortable, and more settled and grounded before I start to work. Authentic, medicine, freedom. Oh, I'm coming for the world. What's next for me? I'm just gonna be doing me, you know? Like I said, I'm exploring this concept of like narrativism and what it means. I'm always gonna explore. I'm always gonna try to be true to the current like state of the world right now and also document that in my work. I'm gonna stay true to myself. Um, I'm gonna be as vulnerable as I possibly can because my work is my worship. So whatever God calls me to do, I do.
Thank you, Jackie. Lovely, lovely answer.